Welcome back.
Good, thanks.
Hey! How are you? Welcome back. Have a seat. Okay, welcome everybody to another episode of Surely Not Everybody Was Kung Fu Fighting. Here we talk about everything Kung Fu, everything martial, everything to do with health. Tonight I've got my two special guests. We have Sifu Proctor and we have Hing, Damon, Milne. Thank you for coming, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Welcome.
Always a pleasure.
As you can see, I'm in my training outfit. This is the training shirt they wear in Hong Kong, under Grandmaster NCK. Very proud to wear it and to fly the flag for him. So this is why I'm wearing it. Welcome, guys. It's been a little bit. Brian, we had you on a podcast earlier, so thanks for coming back.
No problem.
Hing, Damon, we've had you before.
Yep.
People remember him from our first podcast. We were here with Sifu Jeremy.
You should remember me.
Just as a quick, you're very memorable. Look, just a very quick recap. Hing Damon has been training for nearly 15 years and teaches classes. My top student has been training hard for all those years and has achieved quite a lot within this system. We also have Sifu Proctor. Sifu Proctor has trained under multiple masters of this system. He's trained for over 25 years in Chow family Mantis Kung Fu. He is now training with me down here on the Gold Coast, has been for the last 12 months or so. And it's a pleasure to have you here as well.
No, it's
Thanks,
a pleasure to be here. Yeah.
Thanks. All right, this podcast, we want to talk everything Kung Fu. So we're going to forget about the politics. We're not going to talk about the health side of things. We're going to talk about fighting. We're going to talk about the martial art. We're going to talk about our system, which is the Chow family Mantis Kung Fu system. And we're going to kick it off with a segment. And I want to call this segment, How or If or Should a Teacher Improve Their Martial Art or their system of Kung Fu? So, improvement. Should a teacher, the question is this, should a teacher add, make up stuff because he thinks it's good for the system and then change the system for his students and for the people coming in generations down the track? If you say yes, when should he change or improve? How should he do it? These are all the questions that go with, I think, most martial arts, right? Like people train karate and taekwondo and all these sort of different martial arts, and each teacher adds his own spice. Or we've seen it in the past anyway.
Yeah.
We've seen it in our system as well. People add their own little touch, and they say, this is Steven Parrella Kung Fu, or this is Malcolm Su Kung Fu. No problems. They learned something and they changed it to make it their own, and no problems. On that point, on a personal note, I stay true to the authentic traditional system of Chow Gar Mantis, the way I was taught it, and I pass it on exactly the way I was taught it. The only tweak that I do is the way I explain it. That's it. The Kung Fu is the same as I've been taught. I just have my own way of teaching it, my own way of explaining it, and my own way of getting students to understand it better. So I'm going to open the floor to you guys now. You've both been training for a very long time. You now train together quite a lot, yes?
Yeah.
You enjoy training together?
Yeah.
You've had schools, you've had two schools. You've taught many students over the last 6, 7, 8 years.
Yeah.
So I'll open it to the floor first, and then if you want to comment, please comment, and we'll answer your comments. I answer everybody. I don't leave anybody out. Good, bad, or ugly. Just ask the question. Should a martial artist, Brian, change, add, make up things to improve the system?
For me personally, even though I've been training for a long time, I feel I'm not at a level or have the skill set to be playing or adjusting with the style that I'm passionate about, but still actually trying to learn. So
there is a lot to learn.
I'm going into the deeper sections of training, stuff that I've always done, but just going deeper inside that, understandings where forms flow from, jongs flow from, conditionings, angles, better lines, all that sort of stuff. So my personal opinion, I don't think that I'm at a level where I can start playing or changing the system.
Okay, well that opens up.
Me personally.
That opens up the question then. It's like, okay, well, you said at your level you're not willing to touch anything because you don't believe you have enough knowledge, and there's still so much to learn. So then, okay, is there a time when you should?
Well, I believe in everything in life. It should evolve. I was only talking to Damon about this the other day. I remember being a proud kid on a BMX doing a bunny hop across a traffic island. So what I'm getting at is if you have a look at kids and people now, the way they've evolved in sports and stuff like that, they're a lot more flexible in their mind and all the rest of it and everything. So if someone was to pick the whole system up and actually have the whole system and understand the whole system, you could evolve it. You could.
This system.
I believe that.
This system is massive. Number one.
Yeah.
So to learn the entire system takes you a very long time. If you have learnt the entire system and you've mastered the entire system, my belief is, like grandmasters in the past have added their little flavour to it. I think correct me if I'm wrong, Damon. You know more about this too. Chinese history. But I think it's a Chinese custom or Chinese tradition that when you are a grandmaster of this system, you must add something to the system. You must improve something. It doesn't have to be like major things, but I think it's a Chinese custom to, when you are a grandmaster, not when you are a beginner or low level.
Training for 2 years.
Or training for 15 years.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, you have, like a grandmaster is someone who's done this his entire life. He has multiple students and grand students. He knows this system inside out, has taught it multiple ways.
Has actually mastered it.
Has actually mastered what he's learned. Then he has the right, as ownership of the system, to add something of value to it if there is something to add. Because only he would know. Only that person would know.
Yeah.
Because if you haven't learnt the entire system, how do you know what you can add? Because it's probably already there. You just haven't learnt it yet.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, so I know a lot of other systems, in particular, like a lot of Japanese systems, they'll say, once you hit this particular rank or once you hit this, master level or whatever, in a lot of Japanese systems, for example, you can now make up a form,
Yes.
In our system, it's not like that. You're right in that by the time they've mastered it, usually what you find is they go, okay, well, this is a part of that form, like it's a sanseo, it's a tolo, it's a set.
It's a technique or a combination.
Yeah, and it's like, but by the time we get to that form, it's taking too long for people to get it or to understand it.
Yeah.
So we might take out this little section and we'll just teach this little portion much earlier.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah. They've done this with Yong Sang Gung. So Yong Sang Gung is an hour to an hour and a half breathing set that trains all the aspects of our Kung Fu, which is taught at the late stage of your martial career. And we can see now that they've taken, the grandmasters from before us have taken little portions of this out.
Yeah.
And rather than wait until you're an old man and learn this thing, they've taken portions of it out, taught it to the students so they can get stronger faster.
And you can start working on it.
And you can start working on stuff at a lower level and develop that type of power, that type of strength, that type of health, that type of everything before you learn the entire thing.
Yeah, and I think that's another fundamental point too, is that people don't understand, our system isn't like a lot of other systems. It's not just technique based. It's largely power based and structure based, and the techniques teach that. So sometimes, you're going to be doing stuff for a prolonged period because you're trying to train something into the body, as you've taught me.
Yeah.
And so my view on this is I'm a traditionalist. I don't think, you should really be adding anything to it because I think the system is you know, it's huge. It's massive.
try to get good at the stuff you
Yeah,
taught.
exactly.
Like-
and then you really, my view is like, just go deeper, because there is that much material. There is so much stuff.
There's that many levels.
You know, and
as
people
well.
go, oh yeah, I know this, I know this, I know this. And it's like, no, you say no, but what you actually mean is, oh yeah, I can remember that form, so I can do it.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
okay. All right, well, here's a question for you then. I just thought about it. So then, what do you think is the main reason? I think there's two, but what do you think is the main reason why people make up stuff? And two things, like sometimes they call the system after their own name, or call a martial art, you know, like Taekwondo might have Moon Lee Taekwondo,
Yeah.
or Ri Taekwondo, or this person's karate, or Shotokan. There's like different karates.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's named after the person. So they take that on and they give it their own tweak. But sometimes people make up stuff for what reason?
Oh, I'm going to say money. That's probably the number
What do
one
you mean
reason.
money? Like,
well,
how
because
does it teach? How do you make up something that makes money?
Well, I mean, look, and it's been said by a lot of other people, aside from myself, that are much more advanced than myself, that sometimes the training of what we do is boring. It's dull.
Yeah.
Because it's very repetitive. Because we're trying to get that into the body. And so if you've got students and they're getting a little bored, you might need something new to sell to them, to teach them, so they hang around a little longer.
Have you seen this, Brian?
Oh, yeah.
You've had a big career. Have you seen a lot of stuff made up?
Yeah, and I think just some people, that's their understanding of it as well too.
As in, what do you mean?
Well, they might think what they're doing is actually advancing.
Okay.
You know, whereas for me, I understand that because that's what they, you know, I've actually done it myself.
Okay.
Even when I was looking for things, I'm like, oh, here, what about this? What about that? Oh, used to do a bit of boxing when I was younger. Oh, I'll try this and do that. But something kept, some sort of force, what you would ever call it, has dragged me back into trying to search deeper into what I have, because every time I tried to add or mix this with that or mix that with that, even just different exercises to try and get more powerful, think I'll make a machine up to try and, which I did. It cost me a lot of money.
Well, you built something.
Yeah. Used to do a lot of tunku and stuff.
I've seen this so many times.
Made cables and pulleys and that.
Yeah. I've seen this. People make machines. Or
I've done that.
They try to take things from other martial arts, other kung fu's, and bring it into our style of kung fu, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like, people have done this for years. I've been doing this for 40 years, and I've seen so many different things that people have tried to try to make them better. Now, I used to hit, I don't know if you guys have done this or seen this, I used to hit steel bars with my arms to condition them. Every day I would smack that steel, and I would smash that rice bag with
like the
sandbags.
Yep.
I'd be smacking that sandbag, I'd be hitting that steel bar. That was for over 11 years I did that for. Then I went to this traditional martial art, and I've been here for the last 30 years. The first thing we did was, no, we don't use equipment, we use human beings. And I was told that the conditioning will be 10 times harder than if you hit stuff. Obviously, I came from somewhere where you're hitting steel. How can you be better? How can hitting his arm be better than hitting steel? Well, blow me down, guess what?
Not this arm, other arms.
A human's arm, bone on bone, flesh on flesh, skin on skin, muscle on muscle, is 10 times plus better conditioning, less injury,
100%.
longer lasting, more realistic, because you're going to fight, you're going to hit flesh and bone. And the conditioning is 10 times better. Now my bones are conditioning. You can see other videos I've put up, and it shows this sort of stuff. My bones of my hand are conditioned. The front of my hand, the sides of my arms, my body, your body.
Yeah.
You know? And look, we've shown this in other videos. Our body is clean. I don't have calluses on my knuckles.
Yeah.
I don't have big lumps on my arms from hitting things.
No loss.
You know, when you hit something solid, the power's got nowhere to go.
So it goes back into you.
Yeah, especially if what you hit is hard, like concrete or something. So that power has to go back into your arm or into your body. And every time you do that, you're creating a shock into your shoulder or into your elbow or into your hand, you're going to be damaged.
100%.
It's funny because you and I were talking a couple of weeks ago, and it's quite funny. You know, you still think you're getting nowhere in the style because that's sometimes that's how the style. Well, it rears its head to you and lets you know where you're at, which is a good thing. Yeah. But I remember talking to you about when I first learnt Gao Choi. I was like, man, I had to have 2 days off work. You know what I mean? Yeah. And now
so Gao.
Like,
sorry. Gao Choi is a hammer fist. We use the base of the palm, base of the fist. That's what you're talking about. Yeah. Just for the guys who don't know our techniques. So with Gao Choi, and you've seen this in MMA, people use the hammer fist. We do it a little bit differently, but this part of the fist here has to be conditioned. The problem with this part of the fist, if you can see well, is the muscle is on that side and the bone is on this side. So you've got muscle and bone, and they're very close to each other. Yeah. So when you start conditioning and hitting things, there's a high chance you're going to hit the bone, right? You're going to hit the bone and you're going to damage your bone. So to train correctly so that you don't damage yourself, and now we can hit stuff, doesn't matter what we hit, hard as we want, without damaging these little bones here in our hand. True? Because they're now conditioned properly. And there's a way to condition them properly. Maybe we'll show that on another video. I don't know. Maybe we'll show it one day. Make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, this is what you learn, right? I injured myself when I was training on these steel bars and hitting things. I injured myself as well, you know? Yeah. And then you realize, hold on, flesh and bone is much better. No injuries, better conditioning, better for your body.
Better feedback.
Better feedback, and it's real. If that's what it's going to feel like. So your hand, if I hit your hand and I'm conditioning on your hand, that's what it feels like when you hit someone. If you hit a pad, doesn't feel like a person. No. If you hit a table, doesn't feel like a person. No. But a hand or an arm or a body is an actual person. And at the same time, they get conditioned to take your hits. Yep. You get conditioned to hit flesh and bone.
Probably something just come to me then about this particular question. I remember as a young Sifu doing Gung Kil Jong with one of my students.
What's Gung Kil Jong for the people at home?
Gung Kil Jong is basically, it's a set pattern between two people where you're essentially testing the other person's conditioning and how much of a hit you can produce in them. So Gung Kil Jong, the basic one is, usually like a hit to the pecs, eventually moving up to the, bones there at the top of the chest.
So hitting each other.
Hitting each other, basically.
Gung Kil Jong is a Chinese term for punching the crap out of each other. Yeah. Continue, please. Yeah.
So I was trying to condition the Gung area around here. And within a certain time frame, I don't know where the particular student that I was training with, who was my sort of best student at the time, and like I said, I was a young Sifu, not young in age, young as in my skill set. And every time he kept hitting me, I was just going backwards. And I remember thinking to myself, wow, what am I doing wrong here? And it wasn't like that before that. So I was putting the best effort in I could teach him, and basically he sort of caught up to me, the way I see it.
Pretty fast.
Yeah, pretty fast. Yeah, so we spoke about it, we talked about it and that and everything. And what I'm getting at is, I don't know what I did, but somehow I overcame that. But looking back on it, things like that, when you're training the stuff within the style, your kung fu will be tested by itself. It'll be tested by the conditioning, the movements, the power exercises, the leg conditioning was something I didn't even know about. So then I'd had to readjust and then work on this and work on that. And then obviously, when you sort of come into contact with people
every time you hit each other and you're hitting your bodies and kicking your legs and hitting your arms. And, we don't hit each other's faces only lightly when we're sparring, because we want to go to work tomorrow. We want to have our family and we want to do stuff. We don't want to have black... flat noses and black eyes and all this sort of stuff.
Cauliflower ears,
like we talked about last podcast. But we do a lot of hitting, and we want to make sure that, you can hit flesh and bone, take the hit from flesh and bone, and be able to improve. And every time you get hit, your stance improves, right?
100%.
Your structure improves just by hitting each other. And someone will kick you, you might move backwards. You train it quite a bit. After a while, someone kicks you, you're solid.
It's funny, Damon and I were talking about this. So for the people out there kind of thing, we condition every part of the body on the other person's part of the body. So bone by bone, tendon by tendon, muscle by muscle, hand by hand, forearm, all the different parts of the body actually have an exercise on each other. So it's not just certain sections. We were talking how, like when we're sort of letting loose now, it's kind of like, would you call it like a massage? It's a reverberation, like the body's
it's enjoyable.
It's
you actually look forward to hitting each other.
But that's a really good point. Like conditioning with someone that isn't conditioned it's so easy for us and it's really hard for them. That's what the fight's going to be like.
Yeah.
They can't take a hit to the body.
They can't take.
How can they take like actual punishment of a fight?
Yeah.
And then vice versa, when you've got two people that are advanced and are conditioned, it's like, okay, well, I can't make the hit bigger. I can't make the movement bigger. So I've got to be able to try and get more power from less range.
Yes.
Can I do that?
Well, that's what this system is about. We are always continually developing our power so that we can hit a shorter distance, hit with more power, hit with more shock. And there are actual ways of doing it, right?
Yeah.
You've now seen these ways.
Yeah.
You've now training these ways.
Yeah, 100%.
How to connect to your body better so that you can hit with much more velocity. What is power?
Yeah.
Mass times velocity.
Yeah.
So if you're hitting with your entire body, 90 kilos, 80 kilos, 100 kilos, you're hitting with your entire body joined together and your hand can move really fast, your power increases.
Yeah.
So it's learning how to use your body and the internal parts of your body to do this. Now, before we just finish this segment, sorry, we've gone off track just a little tiny bit. That's okay, because this is all very interesting stuff. Changing the system and improving the system. My belief is this. Don't do it.
Yeah.
The system is great. The system is amazing and there's so much to learn. And if you feel you get to a point where you think, oh, I need to add something or change something, search out someone higher level than you and ask him for advice or something else that's in the system that can give you what you need. That would be my first suggestion before you try and make something up.
100%.
This is a really, really, really in-depth system. Better than adding something or making something up. We were told this by Grandmaster NCK in Hong Kong last year or year before? A year before.
Yeah.
So 2 years ago. And he taught us a new two-person set, and myself and Hing Damon were training this set. And the Grandmaster said this to us, and it will stick and it will stay stuck. And he said, every time I teach you something new, you should be able to make 4 things or 4 ways of training that. Minimum.
And it's not a case of you should be able to turn this into 4 new things. What he means is, and a lot of the other senior students there said the same thing to us. And the general message is go deeper. You should be able to go deeper into the technique, into the set, whatever it is.
Train it multiple.
And find things there.
Train it multiple ways. Our first podcast, we talked about playing with your Kung Fu.
Yeah.
So I think that's what he means as well. Like, I've taught you something, here it is.
Yeah.
Now play with it, make it better. Don't make up stuff, just train it heaps of different ways. Train it on a partner, train it in the air, train it moving, train it stagnated, train it, sparring, train it heaps of different ways of training it. And there are heaps when you've been training for a long time.
Heaps.
There are multiple ways you can train something new that you've been taught. That's probably the best way to go.
Yeah.
Just find new ways to train the same thing. That's it. Play with it.
And I think that's another point too, is that why would you add stuff when the thing you're adding may take away from the time you could have spent going deeper and further exploring this other thing where you would have found it anyway?
Well, think of it this way. Let's just put it this way. Brian, I teach you a technique tonight.
Okay.
Right? Okay, no, let's just say.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow I teach you another one. And then the next session I teach you another one. And the next day I teach you another one. Have you had any time to get good at that first one I taught you?
No, not a chance.
Right?
No.
So you're just piling up stuff,
No mastery.
but you're not good at it.
Yeah.
You're really average at everything. And you might have all this information in your head, and a lot of it you forget to train it.
Yeah.
You forget to do it because it's too much. There's too much stuff to work on because the system is already large. You try and add some new stuff to it, people's minds will just go explode. How can I take all this in? I can't even get good at the stuff I already got. Now you're teaching me something new.
Yeah, you got to practice outside of training, and you got to make it a part of your life. Even, for example, it sounds silly, but even we've training so much elbow in, why would you go and open a door like this, like everything? When you're walking around the house, you got the spare hand move and trying to keep.
And we mentioned this our
did
first podcast. We said it should be your way of life now.
Yeah.
You know, even the way you pick stuff up, you pick it up without with your kung fu body rather than just with muscular strength.
And we've got a couple of guys who have really laborious jobs and, you know, do a lot of landscaping outdoors, and they're even saying like, I'm stronger now because I'm lifting like with my body into my body than
rather just an arm,
just the arm, just the shoulder,
or my lower
like
back,
that.
and all this sort of stuff. Yeah, you're
And
doing
then,
stuff differently.
Yeah,
Just like last podcast we talked about health. You change your lifestyle.
Yeah,
the kung fu helps. It changes your body. So look, from my point of view, don't change anything. Don't add. Don't make up stuff. There's so much to learn already, and there's 18 different ways to train each one of those things that you have to learn. And if I open this booklet up here, this is all the stuff I know in this system, and there's multiple stuff in this booklet that I've developed for this style, and that's going to keep me going for another 3-4 lifetimes.
Yeah.
Right, so
that's where the mastery is.
That's where the mastery is. Thank you very much. Well done. So anyway, closing thoughts on this subject for you guys. We can be totally separate. Be honest. Like,
no, look,
up to you.
I'm a traditionalist. I don't think the system's big enough. I don't think you should add anything to it. I don't think it needs anything added to it. I think people don't understand stuff, or they can't find it, you know, where it should be because they don't have the right mindset, or they don't have that understanding or that martial way of thinking. So then they look to add stuff. They bring in, people have brought in, you know, Tai Chi to Mantis, you know, Wing Chun, and it's this stuff, they don't gel, they don't go together at all.
The Mantis has
mixing.
The Mantis has its own form in the later stages that is more free-flowing, and it's swimming dragon forms.
Yeah.
And there's multiple swimming dragon forms, not just one. And it changes the way you move your kung fu.
Yeah.
You know, it goes.
It smooths it out. It rounds it out.
Smooths your kung fu, and I believe it's the beginning of stage 3 of this system, where your kung fu smooths out, your power smooths out, everything becomes more rounded, and it's into the last stages of this martial art. And it's like at the beginning of this last stage to make your kung fu much more fluid, rather than robotic.
Yeah, more efficient too, because as you age, you want to be efficient.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to be fighting with, you know, the strength of youth when you're not young anymore.
Yeah.
You know, it's not available for you.
You've seen this, Brian. You've done this. So you understand how it works and all that. Swimming Dragon is, we've got this. We don't need Tai Chi or any other martial art to come into it. It's in this system. And if you're doing this system and you don't know this stuff, we are nice people. We're happy to show. Yeah, we don't keep secrets. So let's leave it at that point. We want Chow Gar system to expand into more generations than just what we have so far. And without people like us who are willing to share, this system will die. We're happy to share. So just keep that in mind. All right, let's move on to the next segment. Thank you. All right, welcome back. We're just going to go into our next segment now, and I've got the boys here with me still. I want to talk about, our system is called Chow Gar. I think you might know that by now. Chow Gar Tong Long. Tong Long means praying mantis, and we follow the way of the mantis. But Chow Gar has its own fighting philosophies, and there's not just one. There's multiple different fighting philosophies. And I think on just as a base level, there are 3 stages to this system: beginners, intermediate, advanced, and each one has a specific way of using the Chow Gar differently. Stage 1 cannot use the system like stage 2 does.
No.
You can't cross over. And stage 3 is totally different to stage 2. They fight differently. You fight differently.
Yeah.
Now, I'll go in it to say this, that each stage is almost like a different martial art style.
Yep.
You've seen it now, Brian. What's your Sifu Brian? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, well, it's an evolvement, and with like anything, if this is the correct wording for it, it's becoming from amateur to like a professional.
Okay.
If you want to liken it to an analogy of, say, a local footballer compared to NRL.
So there's these layers of...
Yeah, still the same thing, but it's just so much more hidden little skills.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Like you all know rugby league, football, a sport, but like I play tennis, and the layers of levels in tennis is ridiculous. You think you're getting good and you beat a few people, and then you meet someone and they just tear you apart. Really easy. And they're not hugely higher ability than you. They just might be that much higher than you, but they tear you apart.
Yeah.
So this system has 3 major levels, and within those levels you have all your various training methods and powers, different power that you train. But fighting philosophy, which is the subject we want to talk about, let's just talk about level 1 to start with. All right, you begin training, you learn the footwork, the techniques, the different strength exercises, and you start training, and then your teacher says to you, okay, well, if you had to use this martial art right now, right, because you're low level, and this is probably the first 5 years or so, maybe less for some people, maybe more for others. How would you use it with this level of ability?
Yeah.
What's the fighting philosophy?
Probably smash and bash.
Yeah.
Smash and bash. Yeah, this is something we were taught years ago at previous people we trained with. Paul Lima, Malcolm Sue, taught us this stuff, right?
To this day, I used to love flogging those hand pads.
Hand pads.
Yeah. Like, it's not something I do now.
Yeah.
But it was like the bestest thing ever back then.
Makes a big noise, makes you feel good.
Yeah.
That's
loud.
why a lot of people...
Yeah.
Man, you could whack that thing so hard.
Yeah.
And you could keep going, the fitness that you get from it, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
And then you evolve.
Makes you feel good.
And then after hand pads, like, we don't do hand pads, but what do we hit? We hit each other's hands.
Hit,
you just hit hands.
People. Yeah.
Not the pads. So then, instead of hitting this big pad that's maybe so big, you're hitting this small hand. So your target is more accurate. I'm getting conditioned. I'm training as well while you're hitting me. I'm training my Kung Fu. My hands are getting conditioned. You're hitting flesh and bone. That's level 2 only. Level 1, smashing, the philosophy of fighting is just hit, hit, continuously hit, attack, hit hard, keep hitting. Be like I used to say, be like a harvesting machine.
Yeah.
Just you heard that?
Yeah.
Just keep bashing and fighting until the guys. And this is for street fighting, guys. You couldn't use this in any ring because you'd be worn out in 5 seconds. But for street fighting, your best defense is an attack.
Well, it's still probably largely going to be Chow Gang, which is like the rough power.
Rough power, yep.
So you're going to be fighting with like the same sort of power that this other guy has. If he's a street fighter or if he's a boxer or whatever, so you're still going to be, swinging, and hopefully you're just more conditioned than him, and you're throwing stuff that he hasn't seen before.
Yeah. Look, I was even.
That's a good point.
We were even taught, when someone holds their hands up, smash the arms.
Yeah.
Like we condition our arms, and our forearms and our hands and the back and the front and the middle and the side. Yeah. So as at a low level, whatever's in front of you, smash the crap out of it. The guy can't live. Look, there's an old story of another Sifu I know who got into a fight when he was younger, and he was fighting a boxer. And the boxer had really good footwork, so he couldn't land a hand on the guy. So he just started smacking his arms, right? Smack, and and every time the guy got close enough, whack, he'd smack the arm, he'd smack it again. Couldn't hit the guy because his footwork was too good. But after a while, the guy couldn't fight anymore because he couldn't raise his arms.
Yeah.
So the fight was done. Now, I don't know whether this is factual or not. The aftermath is when this person who was the boxer was seen a week later, both his arms were in plaster.
Yeah, right.
So he had multiple fractures in his arms because the guy doing the hitting, the Kung Fu guy, was and conditioned.
Yeah.
And the boxer obviously don't condition
don't.
their arms. They wrap, they put
Yeah.
gloves on. So he didn't have to hit the guy in the face, in the body, anywhere else, but smash his arms. And won the fight. And guess what? The guy was incapacitated for weeks
Would be.
with multiple fractures on his arms.
Worse than a fat lip anyway. A few weeks off work.
Yeah, and this is coming from a good source because this person who told me this was another Sifu that I trained with for many years. He knows who he is. And so look, level 1, fighting philosophy.
Smash through. Yeah.
Smash, hit, keep hitting, smash hard. You're low level, you don't have the skill level yet.
Yeah.
So attack hard, keep attacking until your opponent is down.
Yeah.
You know, a low level skill, that's all you have.
Yeah.
You know?
And I guess look to take boxing for example, like they've just got hands, you know, but we've got hands and legs.
Yeah.
So it's like, so you're going to be throwing like low kicks. So you'll have, my point being is you'll have high and low,
Yeah.
even at a low level.
Yeah.
So, you know, a low level of power, but you'll still be doing attacks that aren't just,
Yeah.
you know, punches and that sort of thing.
How would you be if you had your guard up and someone just didn't even try to hit you in the face, but just kept smacking your guard,
Yeah.
just kept whacking your arms?
Yeah. And assaulting your legs.
Okay, a Muay Thai boxer, you know, they get into a ring. They're not proper Muay Thai people aren't great at boxing. I think they're better now, but years ago, they're not big boxers. They're grapplers. They knee and they do great kickers.
Lots of clinch work.
So they used to chop people's legs.
Yeah.
And a lot of people who fought them in the ring from Western countries really didn't do leg training that much.
No.
I remember this 30 years ago. So the Thai boxers would smash their legs and they couldn't walk. They'd win the fight by just smashing their legs, right? So isn't this the same thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at a beginner's level, smash the crap out of the arms, condition your own arms,
Yeah.
otherwise you just hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Right? You'll hurt your own arms. So condition your own arms like a Thai boxer would.
Yep.
Smack the crap out of their arms. The guy will stop fighting. And you don't go to jail. You don't you don't have to knock the person out.
Yeah.
And if you it's the same thing, right?
Yeah. Even a lot of people that do, you know, if they go and do like MMA classes or any of that sort of stuff, they're still hitting each other with pads. You know, you strap on the foot pads, the shin pads, all that sort of stuff. We kick, you know, person on person, so there's no padding there.
No.
Like a good kick should just drop somebody.
Well, okay, we've had how many beginners come through our school?
Heaps.
Hundreds and hundreds of beginners come through our school, and we in no way try to hurt a beginner. But you do have to show them why they're doing it, why you're going through this pain.
Yeah.
This is and what the end result is if they go through the pain of the training and of the conditioning. You went through this.
100%.
Like you didn't do any leg conditioning whatsoever. And then obviously someone said, I don't know if it was me or someone else said, kick my leg. And no problem, right?
No.
And then someone kicked your leg, what happened?
Yeah, I went straight down. Yeah.
So then you're just showing it, so okay, this is a target. You need to try and reach this target. So you can't be hurt if someone kicks your leg, punches your body, smacks your arm.
Yeah.
It's quite funny because when you're trying to do Ma work, you kind of learn to get rooted to the floor.
Yeah.
You know, with your gripping and stuff, and then you're learning to take kicks. And yeah, I'm the first one to admit I was on the floor. I didn't like it at all. But the funny thing is, it's quite strange how quick the body responds. In other words, what I mean by that is, yes, it's painful, but if you sort of stick with it and keep going with it, it doesn't take that long. Like, it does take time, but your body learns to take the hits. But then when you're doing the sparring, you're somehow still rooted to the floor, but you can move, pop, then get kicked, and then kick, and then move.
And guess what? Are you worried about them kicking you anymore?
No, not at all, no.
Like before, if you got a kick to the leg, down you went, fight
Oh,
started.
yeah.
Now you're conditioned. Do you even care if they kick your leg?
No, we were talking about this the other night, so guess another one.
And you wouldn't care if they hit your arm,
No.
and you wouldn't care if they hit your body, because the Mantis system conditions it so that you got less areas to worry about.
Yeah.
Very few targets.
Yeah. So in the first level, the first stage, you should be conditioning your arms and you should be conditioning your legs. The philosophy is to attack hard, to keep attacking until your opponent is down, and like you said, smash and smash. What'd you say?
Smash and bash.
Smash and bash, I think.
Smash and bash. Just keep smashing until the guy's down.
Yeah.
That's all you have, because the skill level is still low level.
Yeah.
That's all you have. So you have to, if you ever got into a situation at that low level, you have to use what you have.
Yeah.
Simple as that. It changes as you get higher, the fighting style will change.
Of course.
Your philosophies will change. But at the first level,
Has to, yeah. One more point on that though, just real quick, is because we don't condition with pads or train with pads, we just condition on each other. It changes the mental like toughness about it as well. So people that go and they put pads on, you know, or they hit pads, whether they realize it or not, there is like a subconscious thing where it's like, oh, I'm getting into something now, whether it's a street fight, whatever, but I don't have my pads, or he doesn't have his pads. You know, or something like that.
I haven't got my wrap. I
haven't wrapped up.
Yeah,
you know, I haven't done this, I haven't done that. You know, or,
I got a chance. I could break my hand. I could break my. You know.
I've got to be careful if he kicks me because he's not wearing, you know, pads. And
let me give you a funny story. I was training with my Sifu, and we were doing weapons together, weapon fighting, let's say. And part of this weapon fight is that he pokes the pole into your chest or solar plexus or sternum. And then what you're supposed to do is block it and get out of the way. And he said to me, he goes, I was training for 20 years or so, and he said to me, don't move. I said, what do you mean? He goes, don't move. What are you moving for? And I said, I don't want that pole to hit me in the freaking solar plexus. He said, don't move. And he went whack with this pole into my solar plexus. And I stood there and went, shit, I didn't even realize that I could take that. I was so worried about this pole hitting me that I always avoided it and blocked it out of the way. And then because he said, no, take it. So I took it and it's like, wow, shit, I can take this.
that's why conditioning's important, kids.
Yeah, conditioning.
It's funny you should say that.
So it was a mental thing. It wasn't I didn't realize I could physically take a pole being shoved into my chest until I did it, until someone said, just do it. And then now I have no qualms whatsoever about someone shoving poles into my chest or punching me in the sternum or anything. It's like, I know I can take it now, and I practice it quite often. So even that, if you don't practice the conditioning, then you don't know. So then you're worried, and you're going to try and avoid. Yeah. And if you're avoiding, what is he doing?
Attacking.
He's attacking.
Yeah. You're too concerned.
You're too worried about avoiding.
Think about how many people won't even hit like a heavy bag barehanded.
Yeah, because they're worried about hurting their hands.
Yeah. Let alone another person.
We hit in this system non-stop every night, every time we train. No wrappings, no gloves. We hit with our knuckles. We hit with our arms. We hit with our palms. We hit with our fingers. We hit with the base of our fist. We hit with our legs. Non-stop. The hand can be relaxed. It's no problems. We can hit with any part of our body. Everything's a weapon. We hit with our shoulders. We headbutt. We bite. Yeah? Okay, you know why he's laughing? His favourite thing is headbutting.
Big fan.
He's a big fan of the headbutt. So this system has that. You know, we are a street fighting system. In a street fight, you must elbow. Yeah. You must knee. You must gouge. You must headbutt. And then if you get too close and someone's too close to you, guess what? We're going to bite.
Yeah, nothing's off the table.
Your jaw should be tough as nails too, so when you do bite. The Grand Master also explained about the yell.
Yeah.
Like
even
the ability
the voice
to
changes.
Yeah, to have a deep bellowing yell that it scares the life out of you.
Yeah, that's enough to set some people off sometimes.
He did that in Hong Kong in the school, and there was a few of us in the school, and out of the blue, he just went so loud.
Yeah.
Everything shook, and we went stiff.
Yeah.
We like, what the hell was that?
Unexpected. Complete surprise.
So even little things like your voice projection, everything is used when you have to fight in a street fight.
Yeah.
Not for a tournament or for a ring. That's a totally different thing. That's ring fighting.
Yeah.
We're training our martial art for self-defense on the streets in real life, where we don't have a chance to wrap up or pad prepare, warm up.
Yeah.
All that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Closing thoughts on philosophy of fighting. Is that enough?
Well, that was just the beginning.
That
was just the beginner level.
First stage. You don't know all this, right, Brian?
Sorry?
You've seen all this. You know all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've seen it. You understand it. You've gone through it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you miss it because it's like, I just miss just bashing all the time.
Yeah. I still think about fighting.
Yeah. There's a place for it. Yeah.
The thing is
but-
this: even as your level progresses and you get better, you don't lose that fighting ability.
No.
Right? You may evolve and get better and change the way you fight because you have more skill, but you still have that ability to bash.
Well, it's kind of funny because as you get more advanced, or at least as I'm finding, you get more advanced. You know, you've done something to someone and you've opened them up in such a way where that old part is still there, and you're like, I could rip this. You could rip this
But
person
you have more
apart.
control over yourself.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
This is really important too, guys, because your power gets much more powerful. You get faster, but the control over your hands and over your feet is really important. You know, your accuracy, your timing, to be able to control your hits, and what we could say is dial your power up or down. You can dial it up and make it more powerful. You can dial it down and make it less powerful. And the Grandmasters used to always say, you only ever show 75% of your ability.
Yeah.
You never show your full ability ever. It always stays hidden. It's a real Chinese thing. It's a real Chinese martial art thing to do.
Yeah.
To always keep secrets and to keep things hidden, so no one can sort of find your weaknesses in the way you fight.
Even if they think they have a measure of you, it's not a true measure of you.
Yeah.
They don't know.
They only see a portion. Even if we demonstrate something, you only see a very small portion. All right, very good, guys. Good subject. Let's move on to the next subject. All right, welcome back, and thanks for still listening. And if you're still listening, what do we do?
Like, comment, share with someone you think may benefit from this.
Subscribe, please. We're trying to build up our base so that we can actually do more of this stuff and get some more special guests.
Yeah.
I've got some really, really well-known celebrity guests that I'd love to bring on the podcast. Those people know who they are. I know if you're watching this, I'm thinking about you. I want you here. But I don't think we can get them on unless we have more subscribers, because these guys are celebrities, and they don't want to be on a podcast with 1,000 subscribers. They want to be on a podcast with hundreds of thousands. So
if you want better looking guests on this podcast, good luck.
All right. So anyway, in saying that, we've had lots of comments and lots of feedback. Thank you very much. We appreciate your comments. I'll answer everybody. So please comment. We had a comment, and that was nice of this guy to comment. We've had some lovely comments, and thank you very much. And this guy asked a question. He said, I think he trains this system somewhere. Don't know where, he didn't say, but he asked the question, is the ability to learn how to fight more than one person? All right, most people when they learn martial arts or boxing or fighting, you're training on one person, right?
Yeah.
So you're learning how to fight one person. But in traditional Chinese martial arts, this stuff was developed for the battlefield.
Yeah.
Yeah, this stuff was developed because there was no fair fighting. You just had to fight whatever was coming at you. So they had they had to learn how do we fight more than one person? How do we fight two people? What if there's three? What if there's more than three? How do we use this style to fight multiple? And that was his question.
Yeah.
Is the ability to fight more than one person in the traditional system, or is it just left up to the teacher? So I'm going to be very fast with this, and then you guys jump in. Unless the teacher has had multiple, and I mean multiple fights, as in many times he has had to fight multiple people, then I wouldn't listen to him. This system has 250 years of battlefield experience and tested and proven experience, and I would say stay true to the system first before you make any tweaks to it. What's your thoughts, Brian? What's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, definitely. With the movements as you advance, there is swapping and changing and turning, and basically, if you're gonna you've got a couple of attackers and one's coming this way, bung, it might be enough just to send him away, and you might have to quickly turn to put him down, or someone from behind. Bung, that's why we want to train our iron shirt and that. Yeah.
Train from behind, train from the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's good when we do the heavy duty sparring, and we might have sort of 10 of us in the room. We're sparring on this one, and we're all hitting each other in the back and kicking in blind shots from the side. So we're literally sort of getting practice to be hit when we're not looking, because that's going to happen. If you know.
When you're not ready.
When you're not ready. When you're not
expecting
ready.
it.
Yeah. So it's good. I notice, we'll be sparring and next minute, bung, hit someone on the side when they're not looking. And,
why'd you come into my territory?
And it teaches you to be ready and change
Always
and turn.
be ready.
And the forms and advancements of the forms, when you're moving this way and then moving that way, they turn into bung, attack that way, bung, attack that way. Might go straight, might have to turn. You might be grabbed, bung, you have to release them off your back or whatever. Someone might try and tackle you. Chung, there's and I'm not saying I'm one of these people that can go out and just do that, but that's what I'm working.
You're working towards it. Look, very quickly, and then I'll go to see Hing Damon. My philosophy on this is, if you can't fight one person, forget fighting two. Okay?
Yeah.
So, we're talking about stages of the system. Stage one, just learn how to fight, be able to defend yourself against one person. Okay?
Yeah.
Do that really well. When you get to a point where you can fight one person well and easily, then you can start delving into multiple. To answer his question, yes, it's in our system. It's in the traditional system. This is a battlefield system from the Shaolin Temple. This is a real system which dates back through the Shaolin Temple thousands of years of their knowledge and their understanding. So that's a yes from me. What's that? Australian Idol? That's a yes from me.
Yeah.
Over to you.
Okay, so look, a decent system should teach you to be able to defend yourself. A good system, you should be able to not just defend yourself but fight well. And an advanced system, you should be able to not just defend yourself and fight well against one person, but you should be able to do it against multiple people. This is an advanced system. It does take time, but it's an advanced system. The multiple fighting, or the potential for multiple person fighting, is in there from the get.
Yeah.
Basically, from after you've learned the first form, second stage, or the second level rather, you're on to potentially dealing with multiple attackers.
Yeah.
Does that mean one, everyone can do it? No. Does that mean two, everyone can teach it?
Good point.
No.
Yeah.
Does that mean three, everyone can understand it? No.
Yeah.
But it's in there. Should it be trained like that? Yes. Should you be training like that? Yes. Should you be training for it? Yes.
Yeah. Like the chances of you having to fend off more than one person these days is quite high now.
Quite high, yeah.
Like, this is what I think. This is my understanding why it's like that these days. You have all these young kids or young people these days who have been brought up in such a way where they don't care about humanity. They just want to win. They will hit you when you're not ready. They will hit you when you're not looking. They will slide around the side of you and hit you in the back of the head. They don't care about a fair fight or a man-to-man stand-up. They just want to win at all cost. Yep. This is why people are getting stabbed.
There's a group. Well, okay, so take that one step further. There's multiple attackers or a multiple, fight situation, and one of them's got a knife, one of them's got a weapon. Yeah. More than one of them has a knife or a weapon.
Yeah.
That's why there's basic things built into the system, like, basically don't let people get to your back because you can't focus on this guy if you've got other people in front of you.
Awareness skills, like be aware of your surroundings. Doesn't mean you can fight someone who's got a knife. It's a very dangerous situation. Yeah. It's one of the most dangerous situations is to have someone
100%.
Who's got a knife.
Yeah.
But if you are aware of the possibility someone may have a knife, then you may be aware that they're reaching for it.
Yeah.
Or they're pulling it out, or it's in their hand. So
even law enforcement talks about this. They talk about, different behaviors right before someone launches an attack. Do they blade their body? Have they turned themselves? Most people turn themselves, especially if they're going to go for something.
Yeah.
And if you've got multiple people in a confrontation, are you positioning yourself where you're getting distracted by this person and you're letting them get a better position? Or are you constantly, repositioning yourself so that they're all in that field of vision?
You've seen the YouTube videos, like there's lots of them fighting, where a person is maybe fighting one guy, and then someone just whacks him from behind, knocks him out.
Yep.
This is where these
guy wasn't even involved in the argument, just
Yeah, this is where these one-hit deaths are coming from in Australia, probably around the world as well, where people are getting hit when they can't see it, hit when they're not ready for it.
Yeah.
They're blacking out because your body will shut down.
Yep.
If you get an impact that you don't know where it came from, your body will shut down. When your body shuts down, you hit the pavement pretty hard.
That's it.
And there's your second hit.
Yeah.
And then people are getting brain bleeds and dying from this sort of stuff.
Yep.
So your training is meant to make you very aware of your surroundings. The guys just talked about sparring. When you're sparring, there's multiple people sparring very close to each other constantly. And the people that are very close to each other, you have to avoid them or knock them out of the way.
Yeah.
So they're not in your way. And then sometimes out of, I'll say playful fun, they will throw a whack. They're sparring this guy and then whack that guy.
Yeah.
True?
Yeah.
Just so this guy doesn't expect it.
Yeah.
But he has to be ready for it. So...
But it's also a case of, why did you get whacked? Why did this guy let himself get whacked? You know, and how did they put themselves in a position where that could happen?
Yeah.
That doesn't happen to me, but I tend to, whack a lot of other people.
Are you getting pushed up against a wall? Are you getting pushed up against a bunch of other people in the training hall? Like your awareness skills have to get higher, and higher. You can't do that without sparring.
No.
You can't do that by just training techniques in the air. You have to spar. Now, that's what we talked about our first podcast, we talked about sparring. But there are many various ways of sparring. True?
Yeah.
And they have to take into account all the different things that can happen in a fighting situation, like having many people around.
Yeah.
Like sparring two people.
Yep.
Like sparring against someone with a knife. Not just a knife, this, do that.
Or come down.
Someone comes out, someone has a knife, and you got to spar them.
Yeah.
A fake knife, obviously, not a...
No, yeah. For the people
Sometimes
at
my
home,
wife has grabbed a knife. But no, obviously a fake knife, but you have to
gotta train
spar against it, not just spar one person.
But even with a fake weapon, how much does it freak people out?
Yeah. Sparring with it.
Yeah, just sparring with a fake weapon.
Like we have these bats that we use to spar with as well.
Yeah.
Spar with it. Like someone's with a bat, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
And they're alive. They're not doing a set drill.
Yeah.
They're coming at you like they want to whack you. Or a knife, a fake knife, they're coming at you like they want to stab you.
Yeah.
And that's how you learn.
Yeah.
Like you have to learn from mistakes. Don't learn from the mistake that you make when you're defending yourself, thinking that I can defend myself against a knife and you get stabbed 18 times.
And you could have trained it or at least sort of been prepared for that possibility.
Well, I'll tell you this,
beforehand.
if you see someone with a knife and you understand how dangerous they are, you will get the flock out of there.
Yeah. Get out.
Right? You will not face up against that knife because you've trained against a partner with a fake knife. You're realizing how many times you got slashed or stabbed.
Yeah.
And you go, holy crap, I'm not ready.
Yeah.
I need to get the crap out of here.
Well, it's not even that. It's all of that. Sorry, don't get me wrong. What I mean is, there's the saying like, it's almost like you've got to have eyes in the back of your head. Yeah, you do. You've got to have that sort of like spatial awareness and like awareness of self. But on top of that, knowing that if someone's showing you a knife, it's probably because they want something from you.
Yeah.
If they just wanted to stab you, you probably wouldn't see the knife.
Yeah. They'd stab you before you're even ready. And then the question comes up, why do people have knives or stab people? It's because they're, I believe, scared.
Yeah.
If you're not scared and you're a fighter and you're a martial artist or you're a boxer or you're a kickboxer or you're competent at fighting, you don't need a knife. You can protect yourself. So if you've got a knife and you're going to stab someone most of the time, I won't say every single time, most of the time,
frequently,
you are worried, so you carry a knife with you because you inside are very insecure and weak.
Yeah.
All right? This is what people do. If you are inside strong and competent and martial and a man, you don't carry a knife. There's no need to.
But we even saw that, was it last year or the year before, with those deaths of the kids in the valley, all those... They were basically kids.
Yeah, kids stabbing kids,
Yeah.
So yes, multiple fighting. Thank you for the question. We appreciate it. I have to cut it there because we could be talking about it all day.
Yeah.
There's so much to discuss in these podcasts, and we're going to keep punching it out there. Excuse the pun. Punching it out there and showing you guys this stuff. But yeah, look, that's a big subject. We're going to keep talking about it and try and apply this stuff to your own training. I don't care where you train, but try and apply this stuff. If you're going to train to fight, don't just keep it in the realm of one-on-one.
Yeah, one-on-one in a ring with someone that can stop the fight and there's rules.
Yeah, try and have 2-on-1, or try to get a knife, a fake knife, not a real one, a fake knife involved, etc. Like, if you want to fight to protect yourself on the street.
Yeah.
Now, major problem. If you are a good fighter, but you don't train any of this stuff, and then someone comes at you with a knife or a bat, you're probably going to think you can take him. And you're going to put yourself in harm's way where you could get stabbed or die, right?
Huge possibility.
If you've never tried to defend yourself against 2 people or 3 people, there's a high chance that something bad can happen to you. So train it first, see if you can do it, and then work out how to do it, or be taught how to do it, train how to do it. And even then, you still don't even want to confront it.
No, those situations best avoided.
Yeah, you avoid it because you know how dangerous they are.
Yeah. And touch wood, it never happens to you, right? Or
yeah.
never happens to anyone that you know. But even if it doesn't, the skill improvement that you'll see from taking on different things or adding these different aspects to your training is going to be huge. Yeah. You know, even just like the knife game where it's like just give the other guy a texture and see how many times he can tag you.
He can draw on you. Yeah.
You got stabbed. You got stabbed. You got stabbed. You got slashed.
Then you start realizing, right?
Yeah.
You start realizing, holy shit, I can't defend myself against a knife. I better train or avoid it at all costs.
Yeah.
Realize how dangerous they are, and Anyway, big subject. Thank you very much, guys. And we'll move on to the next subject. Thanks very much. Hello and welcome back. Thank you for staying this long. This is probably one of our last segments. And the question I want to put to the panel is this. Should you stick with your Sifu or your teacher no matter what? So should you stay with them year in and year out no matter what? The example I want to give is our Grandmaster, NCK, had stuck with his teacher, Ipsoi. He started with him at 17 years old, and he stayed with him up until when he died. And he was a student of his up until that day, respected him, did all the right things as a student should do, also son-in-law should do for his teacher. And I think that's highly respected. And I think people appreciate him for being that type of character,
and that type
who
of
was
man.
loyal. So then the question I want to put to our panel is, should you stick to your Sifu? It's a Chinese cultural thing. Should you stick to your teacher no matter what? All right, Brian, let's go to you first.
Yeah, I definitely think you should. I think you should stay with your teacher as long as you can. Just touching base on that, we've said I've been at a couple of places before. I'd like to say thanks for everyone that's taught me anything in this style or anything in this life. I'm actually appreciative of that. Nice. I actually had a conversation with someone today who's a dear friend of mine, and he had a bit of a comment that sort of rung true with me. This isn't about my training, this is just about in general. Basically say the MMA fighters now, you know, it's evolved to something. We used to sit there and have a couple of beers and watch the Tank Abbots and all the rest of it. It was funny as, you know, when the UFC first come out, you know, they're just nutters in there going for it, you know, dangerous men actually. Say now if someone's lacking in like a certain part of their game, you know, each student has a bond with their teacher or should have a bond with their teacher and have some sort of professional training relationship. But let's just say he gets beaten in a fight because his ground game's no good or his stand-up game's no good or whatever, you know, they'll actually go across and seek help from someone else to incorporate better things into their game.
Who's knowledgeable at that stuff.
Who's knowledgeable
at that
stuff.
That's a fair point. That's good for lots of martial arts.
You know, and for me personally, I feel like for all the time that I've been training and all the things that, you know, I've trained for, all the things I've learnt through all various teachers, there's still things coming true for me now from what I was taught years and years and years and years ago.
Like coming to fruition.
It was like, nice. Oh, I heard that like that, but I didn't understand it then.
Like someone else has brought it out for you.
Yeah.
And then it's just dropped like a penny.
And it's like, oh, I did that 15 years ago. I forgot about that. Like, so I'm appreciative of the people from before me that put the time in to learn what they've got, and for how much of a section that they gave me, I'm appreciative of it all.
Yeah, and we talked about this in the first podcast where always be grateful to the people who spend the time to teach you.
Yeah.
You know, so that's important. The question probably delves a little bit deeper. Should you stick to that person no matter what? We'll go to seeing Damon first on his opinion, and then I'll talk about my opinion. Let's go.
Yeah, so I mean, like, you know, culturally, the loyalty and the filial piety and everything like that, that's a strong part of the culture, a strong part of the martial culture. But I think it's a two-part problem in that, you know, if you're going to stick with somebody no matter what, it really depends on, you know, one, what the teacher's like, you know, what the Sifu's like, and two, what the student's like, you know. So really, sort of the reasons to sort of not stick with your Sifu would be things like, you know, they can't actually teach you what it is you want to learn, you know, or they've taught you as much as they can, so then you go and learn from somebody else. And if they're good, they'll normally say, you know, I've taught you as much as I can, you need to go and see this person next, because, you know, they'll be able to continue your journey. And then the other side of that is what their character's like. And if they've got a bad character, no, I don't think, you know, you should stick with them no matter what, at all costs, because the character is bad. And that sort of stuff rubs off, and it's endemic. And you see it in, you know, cultural folk tales. You see it in a lot of, like, martial movies where, you know, a student takes up with someone that has really good kung fu, but the character's terrible, and the student sort of learns that over time, and then they go and generally learn from someone who has better kung fu and also has a better character. You know, happy ending, roll credits, all that sort of jazz. Because the reality is, the character of the person that you're learning from is important. Same as the character of the person you're going into business with is important. The character of the person you pick as a spouse is important. The character you instill in your children that you have is important.
Yeah.
It's a massive thing. So no, you shouldn't just stick with people just because.
Okay. Can I continue with that point? Because
Please.
this is what I believe. Yes, you are right. Yes, you are right. Yes, you should always try your best to stick with your teacher and your Sifu for as long as you possibly can. I believe that 100%. I stuck with my Sifu for 30 years. So I believe that's a really important point in your life. Now, in saying that, you're also right where as you progress through your martial journey, maybe your teacher, your kung fu grows, and what you saw from that teacher when you first started is different to what you see now. Because now you're looking for something different, because I've trained for whatever period of time and I need something more. It's not about techniques.
No.
It's not about forms.
No.
It's not about anything else. It could be just about, I need this type of person in my life, or I don't want this type of person in my life. So it becomes more when you've been training a very long time. Like when people first start martial arts, you go in, you see the teacher at the front, he teaches you, you follow him religiously, and you go, yep, I like this guy, he's good at whatever he's doing, MMA, kung fu, karate, whatever, and I'm going to follow him. And then as you get higher and you get deeper and you with people for a very long time, then you start seeing what their character, and you start going, yes, that is what I want to be.
Yeah.
Or no, that's not what I want to be.
Yeah.
So that comes into it too. Like that's later. That won't come into it in the beginning.
No.
That won't come into it in the first
No.
decades of training. You know, that comes into it when later on. Maybe when you're like me, like when I'm a father with kids and a wife and a family. You know, you just want different things out of life. You know, and you want different stuff, and maybe that's the time to part ways in a really nice manner, and wish people all the best. And go and follow your own journey that you need to follow with all good intentions and with gratitude for what you've learnt, etc. You know, so that's my belief and my point of view on that subject, my opinion. Yeah. So a good question from one of our comments is, should you stay with your teacher no matter what? If you're low level, no, I don't think so. No. Find a good teacher. And you might train with someone for a short time and go, I don't like that. He's not good enough. Go and train somewhere else. I don't like, this is low level stuff. Yeah. But when you find a good teacher, then yes, I believe you should stick with them as long as you possibly can. Yeah. You will not find a good teacher often. It's very difficult to find someone good.
It's rare. Yeah.
It's really rare.
It's rare to find a good student too.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, to find a student who sticks with you and stays and wants to learn and wants to turn up.
Diligent
And loyal and dedicated. And this is, people aren't like this these days.
No.
So it's a two-way street. The Sifu should be grateful for the student who's dedicated and loyal, and the student should be grateful to the teacher who's taught them all this stuff along the way. And I think that's really important. Yeah, and that will go through all lines of martial arts.
Yeah.
Look, it probably goes through football. Why wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You have a coach.
Yeah.
You know, like look at rugby league.
Yeah.
Some people stick with their coach no matter what.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like you know, all these footballers that stay with Wayne Bennett, and they follow him from club to club to club. You know, because there's something about him that they.
And there's coaches, you know, you have bad streaks and then they turn it around.
Even,
you know.
Have a look at what Wally Lewis said in that interview, where it was the weirdest thing actually, where Wayne Bennett actually sort of stood Wally down, which really hurt his feelings, and you can see what Wally sort of did say that. But he said, of course I respect him. He's one of the best coaches I've ever seen. I respect the man. I respect him. So, yeah.
You can still respect people and not have to be in their realm. You can still show gratitude and show respect, but don't have to be near that person. That's fine. Like, people's lives go in all different directions, especially in the busy lives we all lead now. And sometimes you're on different paths, you know? So the teacher and the student might be on different paths. It happens sometimes.
Yeah.
So sometimes those sort of things happen. But yes, I do believe you're right on all aspects. For as long as you possibly can, as long as their character is good and they can teach you some good stuff, you stick with them as long as you possibly can. Right. Thank you very much. Thanks for listening. Let's get to the next subject. All right. Thank you for staying this long. We are almost done. There's lots to talk about. We're going to bring out some more podcasts, more special guests. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, tell your mates, come and have a listen. We've got some more things happening in the near future. But just for now, we want to finish off with just some closing thoughts from our two guests. Thank you, first of all, Sifu Brian Proctor, for driving 2.5 hours to get here today. We really appreciate it.
No, thanks for having us.
Hing Damon, thank you for coming as well.
I didn't come that far.
We love the opinions that Hing Damon has. He's got a lot of understanding.
He's got a lot of opinions.
He has a lot of opinions. His intellect is...
He's handsome.
He's handsome.
Many such cases.
So, look, my closing thought will be appreciate your training. Train hard, get healthy, listen to your teacher, and try to keep improving. Like, try to keep on the upward trajectory. You're going to have times where you feel low. You're going to have times where you feel great. Don't just train when you feel great. The best time is to train when you feel low, because then every other time is easy. Most people who feel low and I don't feel like training tonight, I'm going to stay home. No, that's the time. When you don't feel like it, go. By the end of class, I guarantee you'll...
Yeah, you feel better. Yeah.
You feel better.
Every time.
Spoke about that a couple
Yeah.
of weeks
Yeah.
ago.
So just turn up. Just do it. Grandmaster NCK says, just go. So just turn up to class.
Yeah.
Do it. Especially when you're feeling your worst. Don't make an excuse. Just try. Turn up. Then, when you are plateaued and you're feeling, you'll still go, because you know you're going to feel good at the end.
Yeah.
If you only train when you feel good, guess what?
You won't train much.
You won't train much. Very rarely a person feels 100% fantastic every time they train. That's not normal. The discipline is in the ability to turn up when most people don't want to. I'll leave you with that final thought. Brian?
Anyone out there training, I wish you the best, whatever style you're doing. And I don't know a lot about other styles, but within your own style, try and find the closest you can to the root of where the style come from, the essence of the style, and just train and be the best you can be. And that's it from me.
Good. Hing Damon?
Yeah, I mean, look, if you haven't started your martial journey, get started. Go and find somewhere to train. Be grateful to the people that teach you things and train you, and if you're at the beginning, try different things, test different things. Don't just go to the first, this was the place that was closest to my house, stop, that'll do. I didn't like it, so I didn't continue with it.
That's it. I quit.
Yeah, that's it. I quit. I tried that once. That was no good. Yeah.
You know, Brian, you've travelled big distances to get to martial art training.
Yeah.
I've travelled major distances to get to my martial art training. Damon, you gave up a job with the Australian Federal Police in Darwin because you wanted to stay training.
Yeah, multiple job offers. I gave up jobs at various firms. I gave up, jobs with, various government agencies just because, I said, is this here? No, it's not there. Oh, okay. Well, can I... No, there was no way to do it? Okay. Well, all right.
So sometimes,
thanks for the opportunity, but no
yeah,
thanks.
sometimes if your training is good, you prioritise your training over other things in your life. So depending on where you are at life, family, no family, kids, no kids, you prioritise your martial training somewhere in there and do what is necessary to make it happen and to train with someone good. My suggestion is this: wherever you go to train, go for at least 1 month, not one lesson.
Yeah.
Right? 1 month. Train every session that you can possibly train for 1 month. See if you get to like the people you train with. See if you get to like the teacher and their way of training and their way of showing you stuff. That's the only way. You're not gonna find out from one session. Who knows what happens during that session? It could be just an off day and you don't get a good session.
But also see what they're like and see what the stuff that they're teaching you is like.
Yeah.
Two separate things.
Look, even a month is not enough, but a month is better than one session.
Yeah, and it'll give you an idea.
Don't go and do one. I'm going to do one free lesson. You don't learn anything, and it's very rare that you hook on straight away. You need to get to know the people. You have to like the people, right? If you don't like the people you train with,
makes it harder.
How's your training?
Yeah, well, it's uncomfortable to be there.
You don't want to go anymore. I don't want to go somewhere I'm not liked or wanted. You want to go places where you like people and you have fun and you enjoy it, and it makes you want to keep going. If you go, I've got to go there again.
Yeah.
It's good. I love, but those people are just, right? Who wants to train? So anyway, that's my thoughts on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for coming again. I appreciate it. This is our 3rd podcast, so I hope everyone's enjoying it. And if you have any questions or queries or suggestions that you want to throw at us and say, hey, can you talk about this? We're happy to take them on. Remember, we are hopefully going to get some celebrity guests involved over the next few podcasts, so keep watching.
Casey.
And we'll see you again soon.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, guys. Goodbye.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening, but they fought